Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to a brand new video. Today I wanted to talk about what my plans are, discuss my goals for 2024 in regards to gaming, my collection goals, what my goals are for my channel, and just what I have planned for the rest of this year. I enjoy doing these videos each year in January, going over what I have planned for the year and just sharing my goals and stuff. You know, it's really important in this hobby to outline some clear goals that you want for your collection and gaming and stuff. It helps keep you focused on what's going to be important for your collection and gaming, and helps keep you from straying off into all kinds of different directions, because you can easily just get overwhelmed with collecting and gaming. So it's important to set goals for yourself, and that's what I've been doing the last several years, and that's why I enjoy creating these videos and just going over the goals that I have planned. It helps keep me centered and helps keep me focused on what's important with my hobby and gaming and stuff. So I love setting goals every year and then sticking to those goals, as it just helps keep you focused on what's important for your collection and gaming. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts though, with the stuff I talk about today, with discussion. I'd love to hear about your guys' goals, so feel free to leave a comment or film a video response. Let me know what goals you guys have planned for 2024. I think this could be a really good gaming year for most of us. I'm really looking forward to some new games that are coming out this year, as well as catching up on my backlog, which is huge. Now I've got a paper here to go over some of the different topics so I can remind myself what I want to talk to, because sometimes these videos I end up forgetting something I wanted to say, and I just like, damn it, I wanted to say that and I forgot about it, and I don't want to have to refilm the video. So I've taken the time for some of these discussion videos to actually write down or type out topics that I can read real quick to remind myself, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that. So first off, I'm going to stick to my huge goal that I started in 2019 of playing more games in my collection, because I am a gamer. I do love collecting, but I am a gamer first, as I'm someone that loves to play video games. I've been playing them my entire life almost. I've been playing them since I was 4 years old with the Super Mario Brothers on the regular Nintendo in 1989, and that is what made me the gamer I am today. And Mario is the character who made me fall in love with video games, and so I have started wanting to play games more and more, because there were several years there where I was doing more game hunting and game collecting and talking about games than actually playing games. And in 2019, I decided, let's start playing these games. We're buying them, we're adding to the collection, so let's actually start playing and enjoying them, because that's what they're meant for. They're not meant to just sit on the shelf and look pretty. They're meant to actually be played, to experience, and just have fun with them. And so I created a series on my channel called my Weekly Gaming Playlist series. So I've been having a really good time with this Weekly Gaming Playlist series. I've been going on for 4 years now. Got over 200 episodes in it. Now I have missed some weeks here and there due to commitments with work or illness, or just didn't have time for it, but I've been pretty consistent with being able to upload those videos. And that series started out with my passion for wanting to play more games, and then I thought, it'd be really cool to discuss those games with people that I'm playing, and maybe I can get them to be interested in some of the games that I share with them, and maybe they'll start playing more games themselves as well. And it's been a really great video series, and I've enjoyed interacting with you guys. I also ask people in those videos to tell me what they're playing, because it gives me an idea. Someone's like, oh yeah, I played this new racing game, and they explain it, and then I go and check, oh yeah, this game's cool, and then I add it to my list, and then I eventually get to play it, which is cool. And then I also asking people to suggest titles that I might enjoy, because I was always looking for new games to play and experience. And so I do appreciate all of the recommendations that I have received over the years, and I have quite a growing list on my website, and I have a paper of games that I want to add to my collection. And I've played some of those games, some from your guys' suggestions, and I have played and beat some of them. Some of them I have not got to yet, but I would like to get to. And so I do want to play more games and just keep playing more games every year. I put in a lot of hours. I put in at least over, I'd say, 1,000 hours of gaming in 2023, and I'd like to up that number to like 1,500 hours of gaming this year, as I'm going away from collecting and getting more into gaming. So people have noticed that every year, I seem to have less and less pickup videos. I only have a pickup video every couple months. And that's because, I'm really happy with the collection that I've built now over the years. I've got an amazing collection. I've built up some really amazing titles for a variety of systems and handhelds, and I really do have enough games to keep me busy for the rest of my life. If I didn't buy another game from today on the rest of my life, I'd have enough games to keep me busy till the day I die, and I still would not have the time to beat all of them. But I kind of agree with like what my buddy Dean says. Vinny Corleone 62, great guy here on YouTube. Make sure you guys check out his channel. He mentioned, he's like, the point of your collection isn't you have to beat every single game in your collection or even have to play every game in your collection. As long as you have built a library of titles that you have access, that you can play anytime you want to. And it's just nice having that variety. You've got, let's say, you've got 100 PlayStation 1 games, and you've got the games you really want to play, and you work through getting all through them, but you're not able to. It's okay. But you added games to your collection that you really want, and you didn't just have stuff sitting around collecting dust and just have a game that you don't care about in there, and you just pick it up just for the simple fact of buying it. So I really agreed with that, and I thought that was, a really good way of looking at it. My buddy Dean, has just somebody he's one of those guys that's a measure twice, cut once kind of person, where he really researches, and he doesn't add a game to his collection unless he actually sees himself playing it. And I myself have bought a lot of games over the years, and sometimes I got really swept up in the whole just collecting and just buying games because other people were buying them, and it started getting overwhelmed by having games that I didn't really want to have or play or enjoy in my collection. And so I just started cutting down, and so that's where another topic I want to talk about, we'll get to just a moment about downsizing, but it was really like, you really want to have a collection of games that you want for yourself to play and experience, and that's what I've been building up for myself. Now, I do have a complete North American original Xbox set that I built. Now, there are titles, obviously, like a Barbie Horse Adventures game in there, or a kitty game that I would probably never, ever play, but I wanted to own a complete collection of the original Xbox because that's my favorite console of all time. Absolutely love it. Halo's what got me into the original Xbox, and it was just something that was really special. And at the time when I was going for the complete set, it was so dirt cheap and easy, 50 cents, a quarter, $1 a title. I got a bunch for free. I've talked about this story of how I got 150 games for $100 at a game store because they just couldn't get rid of games at the time. Now, the consoles prices have gone way up, and I would not recommend going for a complete set. But that's one of the only systems I have games that I don't really care about. Most of the rest of my collection are all games I actually want to play and experience at some point, or at least have the opportunity to play them and have them in my collection. So, working on downsizing has definitely been a key with it. But before we get to that real quick, I did just want to talk about my backlog, which I do have a massive backlog. Anyone who's got a big collection of games that they actually want to play will tell you they've got a big backlog. And it can be kind of overwhelming at times, like where to go with it. And for me personally, I just start picking games that I have in my collection and want to start playing them, which I've been playing a lot of Xbox One and Xbox Series X games, and so I've got quite a few examples of those to share with you guys. I've got a bunch of Nintendo Switch games I want to get to eventually, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and some other retro games as well. So I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I got a little stack here of ones I want to talk about. So for Xbox, I want to go back and finish beating this one, but this is Star Trek Resurgence, so this was a really cool adventure game. This plays like Telltale Games, and this was this studio's very first game they created, but it's in a Star Trek game, which is really awesome. Plays 2 different characters, and this takes place after the main Star Trek TV series, and Spock is in this, and so is Jonathan Frakes, who plays Captain Riker, so he's in this game as well, and this is one I would like to go back and beat. Really good game. I've got a little further into the story, really enjoying it. I want to check this one out. Next up here is one that I just got for Christmas. It is a game called Asiansleepy. are Ad Infinitum, and this is a really interesting psychological horror game that takes place during World War I. There's a soldier, and it deals with some real crazy shit with his family and stuff. It just looked really neat from checking out gameplay footage and stuff from Gamefly and YouTube, and this is one I would love to play and check out because I do love horror games, and this looks really good, so I want to check that one out. Next up, have Steel Rising, and this was created by Spiders. They've made a lot of really awesome games, like they made that Greedfall, and there was a few other RPGs of theirs that they made, and they made this Steel Rising game. This is one of the only ones of theirs I did not have, and this one takes place during the it says Save the French Revolution, and it's kind of a Souls-like game that looked really fun. You know, it's kind of janky. You know, Spiders games has always been known as being kind of janky and AA, not AAA games, and not always polished, but it looked really fun, and I was really happy to get this one as well. Another one here I got for Christmas is one that's been recommended to me by Nick T. Wolf. He played it and said he really enjoyed it. My buddy Dean said he wants to play it. I had a couple of buddies locally. Some other people here online said that it was a really good game. I'm really glad that I got it from my wife, and this was Dredge, and this is a deluxe edition. I do want to get the DLC for this, but this game looks really fun, so this is another one I want to play this year and beat. Looks awesome. Another one here is from a great YouTuber over in Europe, and he's called Let's Collect Video Games, and he told me about this game. Now, he was able to get this collector's edition. I really wish I could have, but it's sold out, and it was exclusive to Europe. But it's a game called The Invincible. This is a 9th gen exclusive, so I was able to get this one from Best Buy for like $30 brand new with free shipping. Now, I was going to get it from GameStop, but they wanted to charge $11 for shipping. It's just ridiculous. So I'm really glad I was able to get it from Best Buy before they stopped selling video games, and it is brand new and sealed. And this one is another first person, kind of like a horror mystery kind of game, and he told me that I might enjoy it. He recommended this to me in one of my weekly gaming playlists, and so I'm glad to have this in the collection. I can't wait to play this later this year. Definitely looking forward to that. Some for Nintendo Switch here. Now, this is one I want to go back and beat because I only played it for a little bit, but only a couple levels, and I need to go back and beat it because this game is amazing. Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun for the Nintendo Switch. Now, this has been released for other consoles, but it's digital only, and I wanted to get a physical copy. As soon as I heard they had a physical copy of Nintendo Switch, I pre-ordered it. I'm so glad I got it because it got a very, very small print run. But I can't wait to play this because this is what they call a boomer shooter. You know, it has the old classic 90s Doom-style graphics and the old pixelated and stuff. And it's just fucking amazing. I love it. Brutal, violent, you know, just the way Warhammer 40,000 is. And this is one I want to go back and finish beating this year. Such a great game. Next up we have Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons. This is one that I do want to play. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. I also have it for my Xbox, but I got it for the Nintendo Switch as well, so I can play it portably. I love these beat-em-up games. I love Double Dragon, and this one I actually want to play with my brother the next time he's up here. He was only able to come up here this past, it's like a week or two ago. I was coming up to visit, and because it was my birthday, and he only got to stay for one day, and we didn't get to play this game, but I do want to play it with him because it looks really fun. You can play it co-op. Came with some cool little bonus stuff as well, so that's another one I want to play. This one I played a little bit of my own, but I haven't talked about it, but it's Bear and Breakfast, which is a really cool little puzzle adventure type of game or a simulation game where you play as a bear, and you and your friends actually build bed and breakfasts for humans to stay at, and you go around and scavenge trash and stuff to build it up, and it has a kind of a little eerie story at the beginning, and it looks really fun, so I will be sharing this in my weekly gaming playlist series. So you'll guys see all these games here when I play them. I will talk about and share my thoughts in those that weekly gaming playlist series. Another one here. Now, I'm going to play this on the original Xbox, but I'm going to show you on my PS2 version, Scarface, The World Is Yours. I love this game. I have started it probably like 12 different times over the years. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, where it's open world, but you play as Tony Montana. Now, what's interesting about this game is it's actually a sequel to the Scarface movie. And what it does is, instead of Tony dying, if you remember that assassin of Sosa comes out from behind Tony with a shotgun, shoots you, instead Tony turns around, kills him, and then fights his way out of the mansion, you lose your whole empire. You crumble down to nothing, and you're back to the dirt and the gutter, and you have to win your empire back and fight your old enemies and stuff. And I know that it ends at the end with you fighting and killing Sosa. It's just really awesome. It's got fantastic music, and I want to finally beat this game. I do have the strategy guide for it, which is great. I would love to finally beat Scarface. I love this game so much that I had to get the collector's edition. It was exclusive at PS2, so I have that. But I want to beat it on the original Xbox. Fantastic game, so I will be talking about this one later this year as well. Here's a new game that I actually just got for my birthday, which I'll share in my next pickups video, guys, to see what it's called, American Fugitive. And my brother told me about this game and had me play it on his PC. He said he got it on the Switch digitally, but it was running really poorly, and so he just played on his PC. And then I said I played a little bit, and it's kind of like plays like the old Grand Theft Auto. If you guys remember Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 from PlayStation 1 days with the isometric top-down view, well, that's similar to what this plays like, and the art style and stuff, but a modern version, and it's just really awesome. I played it for like an hour and a half on his computer, really enjoyed it. And then I was looking to see if we could get on PlayStation 4, and I saw that they had the physical copies, and I saw they had a PS4 copy, and I got a brand new one for my birthday. So really looking forward to eventually playing this one as well. And then I've just got a little stack here of games that I've started in the last few years, but I want to go back and finally beat them. Like Cloudpunk, this was a fun game that had pixelated graphics. I can't remember the exact name. I know my buddy Joel, Cat's Game, whatever, told me what these kind of games are called, but you play as Renea, and you work for this Cloudpunk that's like a semi-legal delivery service, and it's in a cyberpunk world, and just a really interesting game. I got really far but never beat it, so I want to go back and finish that one. This next one here is Necromunda Hired Gun. This is a Warhammer 40,000 amazing first-person shooter. It's got heavy metal pumping music, you move really quickly, it's got tons of enemies to fight and different modes and stuff, and I want to finally beat this game because it was amazing. I want to go back and finish this one. Next up we have the new Prey that had come out. I played this and played a few hours into this and really loved it. It was a really enjoyable experience, really freaky and shit too, fighting the different aliens and stuff, had different endings, so I want to finally beat Prey. That's another one. And the last one I'll talk about here is Greedfall, which is the one that the Spiders made. I got really far in this. I even have the DLC for this, and I want to go back and finally complete this game. So you guys can see I've got a backlog of games right here just to play, as well as I do have others. I just don't want to make an 8-hour video of me just going over every game I want to play, but that's just to give you guys a little idea. I want to play more games in my collection and start tackling that backlist more and whittling it down and playing some of these new games. There's still new games that has come out in the last few years that I want to pick up for my collection and check out. So you guys will be seeing some stuff I'll be adding this year. Mostly older titles and stuff, used ones that I want to buy from GameFly or GameStop or my local game stores and stuff. But those are the kind of stuff I'll be picking up and adding. So now we'll talk about, I've been working on downsizing my collection. I started doing a big purge in August of 2022, and I purged like 700 titles. I went through my PlayStation 1 collection, cleaned out all the riff-raff garbage that I didn't want. I may go back to PS1 again and see if there's any other titles I'd like to thin out, but I've pretty much got rid of most of the PlayStation 1 games that I didn't want in my collection. I got rid of like 300 of those. I went through my PlayStation 2 collection and purged a bunch of games from there, including doubles. When I noticed it, I don't need the game on original Xbox, GameCube, and PlayStation 2, so I started phasing out games from the PlayStation 2 that I would rather have on my original Xbox, so I got rid of the PS2 versions. There are a few exceptions for certain game series that I love that I want to have both. I went through my GameCube collection. It was not massive. I have under 100 games for it, and I purged some of them out, but my GameCube collection is so small that I just want to keep the games that I really have for, and GameCube is just crazy expensive to collect for, so I don't know how many more titles I'll really add to it, but I'm really happy with the collection I have. I did purge a lot of games for my Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance collections, Nintendo DS collections, and I just got rid of riff-raff titles that I don't care about. There were some kiddie games I bought for my son when he was younger that he no longer cares about, and so I got rid of all of those. I went through my Xbox 360 collection and I purged out all the garbage and sports titles that I had and really trimmed that collection down to just games I want to play. I thinned out a bunch of PlayStation 4 doubles that I have. There were guns I already have on Xbox One. Well, there was no point in having two games. Like, I'm not going to play The Witcher 3 on PS4 when I have it on Xbox One. It's that kind of thing. So I purged those kind of games out. I went through my PlayStation 3 collection and did a similar thing where I got rid of some of the doubles that I had on Xbox 360, even though my PS4 collection is not that huge, and just purged out the titles that I didn't want. Now, what I need to do, though, with that goal is I need to actually finally get rid of them because they've been sitting in boxes here in the living room by our couch, and they're all just waiting to go. But I wanted to first offer them to you guys. I also have another box of a bunch of original Xbox doubles that I have. I had like 200 of those, but I have sold or traded off a bunch, but I still have some of those added, and I would like to film a video for you guys and I'll make a post on my Facebook page about it for you guys to see if there's maybe titles you guys want to buy or trade for, and I want to give you guys first dibs on that stuff, and then I'm going to take the rest of them all to my local game store and start trading them in. You know, there's a bunch of crappy sports games that I've been trading into my game stores. I've been surprised with some of the money I've gotten for some of these shitty games, like a Mary-Kate and Ashley game. I remember I traded in, got like $8 for like, really, for that? And they're selling it for like 20. It was like, and some of these sports games that are just junk. To me, I mean, I know some people enjoy playing sports games, and there's a few series I play myself, but they're just kind of crappy sports games, but I was getting some decent trade-in value from them, and so I'm going to take them to the game store and finally get rid of them this year. I just have to take some time to get that video film and give you guys a chance to get them first. If you know, I'd rather them go to people who really are going to enjoy them than just sell them strictly to the game stores. But I always have the option, you know, to trade in whatever people don't want to the game store and then use that to buy games and stuff that I really want in my collection. So I got to get moving on downsizing that and going through a few more collections, just double checking that I have everything that I want, and if there's any other ones I want to purge out, that I will. But I'm really, really happy and content with my collection right now. I do have some buy lists of PS4, some Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch titles that I'd like to add to my collection, especially some of the Nintendo Switch titles. Nintendo has talked about they're going to stop producing some of these games for their Nintendo Switch because they're already working on their next console, and there's all kinds of rumors saying we're going to hear about the successor to the Switch this year, which is possible. But definitely want to get these games before they become impossible to find or become super expensive, because when it comes to Nintendo, especially their first-party titles, their Marios and stuff, they rarely really ever go down in value, and they just seem to continue to go up, especially with past consoles and Nintendo games. So I want to make sure that I get some of those games that I missed out on and add to my collection. I have Xbox One games I'd like to add to my collection, as well as PS4 games to the collection, and I have a list of those games, like the like some of these ones that I have, if I actually have any out here that I added to the collection, like this Invincible is an example. You know, there are some titles, you know, I have written down of that I'd like to add to my collection. And the nice thing is, a lot of these games are older games, so they are used, with the exception of like being Nintendo Switch. You know, a lot of these games I can find for $5, $10, $20, $30, especially on GameFly. I really love their rent and keep programs. So some of these games, you know, I'm able to get for under $20. You know, $10, $12, $14, and they're always having sales and stuff, and GameStop is having sales, and so I keep that list of games like, oh yeah, I want to add that to the collection so I can play it and eventually get to it, and so that's where I have a list of those games that I want to add to the collection, so I have that. I want to continue working on uploading videos for my channel, as I do have several ideas I want to get filmed this year. It's just finding the time with work so damn much. Lately, you know, makes it difficult for the channel, and, you know, I'm married and I have obligations besides just, you know, fun and gaming, and then making time for gaming and time for game hunting and filming videos, so it's just, working on time management. I would like to get more videos filmed. I have a lot of ideas of videos that I want to get filmed and uploaded this year, so keep an eye out for those. I do have a list of strategy guides I would like to add to my collection, which is, it's not huge. I'm just wrapping up the strategy guide collection because I have a massive strategy guide collection now, and I actually use my strategy guides. I know there's some people who literally just collect them to look at them, but I use them because they enhance the games that I play. And I know my buddy Dean, I know Let's Collect Video Games. Those two love strategy guides just as much as I do, and they actually play games and use the strategy guides. They don't just collect them to look at them. They actually play and use those strategy guides like myself. That's what they're meant for, is to be used. And I like them because, how detailed. I love the extra artwork in them and the work that goes into them and the details. And you can just use it to help you beat a game. Now, I know there are online guides and stuff, and I've used them myself in video guides, but you just can't beat having that physical strategy guide in your collection, being able to, like I got one right here to read, like this Aliens Resurrection guide. You can just go through and just read the tips on there and check out the stuff, and they have the extra secrets in there and the artwork and stuff, and I just really love being able to have that, and then not having to worry about having to go on a computer and having to look up where this thing is, or go on my phone and make sure the phone's on and make sure that it's at the right part and stuff. So that's why I just prefer having my strategy guides. But I do have a list of some of the guides that I'm looking for a good price to add to my collection. So I'm going to be working on getting some of those. I'm thinking of saving up for a extra Xbox Series X console this year or next year. I might buy one more. I would love to have a backup for it, because I had been going through all of my consoles to make sure I have one or two backups of all those consoles so that I can always play them, because these consoles aren't going to last forever, especially the older ones, though those are built better than some of these newer ones are. But I really would like to get another Xbox Series X, and they're starting to become a lot cheaper here in my area, like $300 to $400. They're not that $500 price point anymore, and I wouldn't mind even buying a used one that's in good condition from one of my local game stores, just so I can have a backup console to play, just in case my Xbox Series X ever breaks down. So I would like to look into getting that in the next year or two, save up for that. I'll have a little buy list of PlayStation 3 games. There are some PlayStation 3 games and PS2 games I'd like to add to my collection. Not massive. They're pretty reasonable, smaller lists of just games that I have missed out on over the years. There's some 360 titles as well that I'd like to get this year. Some more games that I have researched, that I have played in the past, that I want to add to the collection, like Wanted Weapons, Fate, the Saboteur game I loved on 360. I never did pick up a copy. I rented it and beat it in like 2 weeks, and I want to add that one to the collection. There's a few other games I've discovered. I'm pretty happy with my PSP collection. There's only like a couple handful of games I want for that collection, but I would like to add a few more games to my Nintendo 3DS collection. There are some first-party Kirby games and some Mario titles and stuff that I would love to add to the collection that I missed out on. PlayStation 4, I'd like to get some more exclusives for that one as well. But overall, I'm really am happy and satisfied with the collection that I've built this year. The goals I have set with gaming has been good. I do want to do some more game hunting. I haven't done a day of going out game hunting for a while now. It's been a few months since I've really hit up any of the game stores and thrift stores and stuff. So I'd like to schedule some time this year to do some game hunting. So it's always fun. Doesn't mean you have to buy anything, but it's just fun to go out and see what's out there, and you just never know what you're going to run into, which is what the thrill is. You just never know when you're going to find something great at the store. Like I found that super slim PlayStation 3 console at my local thrift store that donates to the dogs and cats at the Humane Society, and so I got a great deal on that because I've wanted that console added to my collection for a backup. So I've got 3 PlayStation 3s, 2 fat ones and the super slim, which is what I was recommended to me as far as simple functionality, and it has a sliding door and everything, and so I'm really happy to have that in the collection as well. So I'm really happy with my backup consoles and stuff, but like I said, I do want to do some game hunting a little bit this year, but then of course my main goal will always be play more games. So you guys will be seeing me and me playing and talking about more games in my collection, and I want to try to stay consistent this year with uploading every week if I can an episode in my weekly gaming playlist series every Friday, talking about the games I go over for the week. So you guys will see more of those. So that's my plans. You know, like I said, mostly playing games, a little bit of game hunting here and there, working on downsizing and finally getting rid of this stuff because my wife's getting tired of seeing those boxes in the living room hanging out that I need to take and get rid of. I'm going to offer you guys a chance to obtain those games first before I sell them off to the game store, but then I will get rid of all of them and then have that money for gaming and being able to have that to pick up for games that I want from my local game stores, and maybe even turn that money into buying another Xbox Series X console this year. I've got my list of games for 9th gen, 8th gen I want to get, some 7th gen, Nintendo Switch, stuff like that. So I also, talked about I wanted to film some more videos for my channel, as I love interacting with you guys, and I would really love to be able to release more than just 2 videos a week, but it's just not something that's going to work out right now. But eventually I'd like to get into filming and uploading more videos, because I got so many great ideas of videos and discussion topics with you guys that I would love to film, because I love this channel. I love having fun with it. It's a hobby for me. I don't do this for a living. I don't take this too seriously. I'm not trying to get famous or anything. I'm not here for bragging or showing off. It's just to have fun and share my passion, like YouTube used to be in the gaming community back when I first started in 2010 with YouTube. It was really fun back then, and that's why I like to keep my channel just simple. I don't do any crazy high quality editing. I just use my phone to film videos and stuff, and I just try to keep it bare bones and simple and just as a fun hobby, because once you start turning your passion into a career, it can really kill the passion you have for that. So if you turn gaming into a job, it really can kill it. I already work a job. I don't need 2 jobs, and so that's why I like to keep this as just a fun hobby. But those are my goals and my plans for 2024. Shaping up to be a really awesome year. There's some games coming out like that Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. I can't wait to check out. The new Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is coming out here, I think at the end of this week, and there's just some other titles that are coming out later this year that I'd love to check out, and I'm always discovering new games as well. It's really awesome seeing the different games that are coming out as well. So those are my goals, guys. I'd love to hear your guys' goals as well. So what do you guys have planned for 2024? Would love to hear them. Feel free to leave a comment, let me know about it. If you want to film a video talking about your own goals, that's awesome. Let me know about it and I'll check it out. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Take care, have a wonderful day, and I hope you guys have an amazing 2024 with gaming and your collecting.